Individual game in the start of the Western Conference quarterfinal. It's the Blazers and the Nuggets. It is Nikola Jokic hosting Dame Lillard. And listen, the dad bod god got his. Look at Jokic. Wing, triple. He's on his way to his second 30 and 15 game of his playoff career. Massive in the second quarter. Massive in the first half. Works on Robert Covington. His third 20-point first half in his playoff career. That's one more than the former Nugget, Carmelo Anthony. Denver leading by 3 at the break. Lillard, though, in that third quarter, a triple. Sort of a leaner as he worked on Facundo Campazzo. Matter of fact, picked on him a couple of times. 5 of 12 from distance. There he is again. And Michael Malone said, man, I talked about it during the week. Can we guard the three-point line? Answer no. Dame Lillard scoring or assisting on 24. Portland's 38 in the third. They led by 10 going into the fourth. They were down 3 at the break, and it's a big swing. Michael Porter Jr. chipping into it. He had 25 points. He was 11 for 11 from the field from 2-point range. 1 for 10 from 3. Yikes. Carmelo Anthony, 3 the old-fashioned way. Terry Stotts saying of him, man, he gave us the boost that we needed. 18 off the bench for Melo. Lillard went for 34 and 13. 19 made threes for Portland. It's a franchise postseason record. And the Blazers win game 1. Here's Dame on the adjustments.
You know, tonight I noticed that they were trying to just wear me out a little bit, picking me up full court, being active, being physical. And that's the playoffs. You know, you got to expect it. It's not my first time, and I'm just expecting it to get tougher.
You know, we gave ourselves a chance. We had some great moments. But when we were bad, we were really bad. And they exploited it, and they went on those 2 big runs that I talked about. And when you have the amount of guys down, you know, it's tough. You know, it's tough. So we really have to try to limit the amount of mental mistakes to give ourselves a chance against a potent offensive team.
One thing worth noting here, just 1 assist in this game for Nikola Jokic, 13 of them for Lillard. He was a facilitator when he wasn't scoring. He did either score or assist on 66 of Portland's 123 points, and those 66 points created are the most for him in a playoff game in his career. 18th career, 30-point playoff game, 13 dimes, a new playoff career high.
Great to start. The big 3, they were slow. It's Nets Celtics. It's game 1. Slow start for Kyrie, KD, and Harden. You think the wearing of the green is a bit of the trolling of the other team?
Send a message.
3 of 21 on contested shots to start the game. None threes, but a big turnaround in the third. They went on an 18-4 run. You got Kyrie Irving from 3, Kevin Durant from 3. James Harden had 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists, and they jump out to a lead. They were up by 8. The big 3 were responsible for 28 of 31 points scored in the third. There wasn't much of a lead early on, and then there you go. Nets were able to score a lot. Nets up 5 after 3. And then they continued to build on the momentum that they had gained in the third and the fourth. Nets by 3. Kyrie, he had 29 points. Kevin Durant led the way, coming up with the steal and then easy dunk at the other end. 32 points, 12 rebounds. That is a 10-point lead. The Nets were able to outscore the Celtics by 17 in the second half. Yes, Jason Tatum was there. He had 22 points and 5 assists, but he was 0 for 6 in shooting in the second half. The Nets take game 1. May not have always been pretty, but it was effective.
We knew that as a matter of minutes before this thing started to turn for us defensively. We got stops, we rebounded, and we got out in transition. So, it was one of those games where we stayed with it because our shot wasn't there and our defense was there for us.
And just to show us, every game isn't going to be perfect. Whether we make shots or miss shots, the way we're going to get to where we want to go is our defense. And tonight was a great example of that.
Obviously we know we have all world one-on-one players, but we make it a little easy when teams could just load up and, our one-on-one game isn't working. You can see anything can happen at the end of the game. Kemba hits 2 big threes. We get a flagrant foul. Anything can happen, especially against the Celtics. That lucky Irishman is always around the Celtics.
I know you were wondering, no, you cannot pull off that sweater. Durant, Irving, and Harden, they scored nearly 79% of the Nets' points. That is the second highest percentage by any trio in a playoff debut since 1949, since literally before the television had color. We're talking the Truman administration, Harry, as obviously.
Luka and Kawhi playing one-on-one early. Clips down by 11. Kawhi sets Luka up, just comes to the rack. Oh, people all up in his life, hits that. It's a 9-point game. Mavericks up by 10. Luka working, fadeaway, good. They lead 24-12. Clips down by 8. Paul George. Venmo's Leonard. Fire away. Clips down by 5. Still a 5-point game. 2 minutes to go in the first. Doncic. Right past George. Banged into him. Hits that. Doncic 12 in the first. Well, Leonard dropped 13. Now into the second. Mavericks down by 2. Well to develop. Doncic, as I say, in the second quarter. Transition. Doncic, Zubac, no match. Fire away. Didn't get in his face. 54-53, 1-point game. Time winding down to the second. Doncic put one in the air. Doncic goes for 21 and 6 assists by halftime. To the third quarter we go. Clippers down 4. Leonard playing the D. Knocks it away. Takes it farm to table. Throw it down like dominoes. Replay times 1. Intense to the rack. Bucket. The stare down. Clippers trailing by 2. Now late in the third. Mavericks are down 3. Doncic. No conscience. Fire away. 3. Good. Mavs led by 6. Headed to the fourth quarter. Now Clippers down 1. Paul George gets involved. Open, catch and release. 3's good. Clippers lead by 2. Mavericks coming. Dorian Finney-Smith responds. Yeah, he hits that. It's 95-94. Clippers have it. Leonard surrounded by people. Rondo, he's open. Fire away for 3. The Clippers lead it by 3. Now the game's tied at 100. Doncic zings it across for Finney-Smith, and the Mavs are up by 3. 5-point game now. Finney-Smith. Porzingis, he's tall. Mavericks go up by 7. They go on to win by 10. Doncic went for 31, 10 and 11. Those are stats. These are the words.
You know, the leadership role that he has on our team. You know, he's a guy who, when he speaks up, you know, the locker room goes quiet and people listen. And he's a man of few words, but when he speaks, you know, our guys pay close attention.
All right, so the Mavericks trailed by 3 with under 6 to go in the game, but then they closed the game on an 18-5 run. And the supporting cast picked it up because Luka didn't score during that run. Clippers shot 2 of 12 from the field during that last 6 minutes. 0 for 7 from long range.
All right, we got a huge title fight. Taylor Ramirez coming up on ESPN at 8. But if you're into basketball, you're going to want to flip over to ABC at 8. Jason Tatum has scored the 6th most points by a player 23 or younger in postseason history. So you know he can do it. He's just got to be locked in if Boston has any chance to beat Brooklyn in the